Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name's Boogie Bentley. Fall camp kicks off this week. We're just 33 days away from Tennessee kicking off against Syracuse. It is go time. It's football time in Tennessee. But before we get there, Tennessee still looks to close out on some elite prospects in this class of 26, a class that I think has an opportunity to be a very special bunch for Tennessee. You're looking to flip Tristan Keys. Can you land the number one running back in the country in Savon Haidider? Where is Tennessee at with Joel Wyatt and Celelesi Moa? Steve Wiltfong actually just put out an update saying the Vols are increasing the intensity on the recruitment of the number one ranked interior offensive lineman in the country. That's Darius Gray. You can see the graphic on the screen there from Hayes Fawcett. News, five-star interior offensive lineman Darius Gray will announce his commitment August the 22nd, he tells me, for Rivals. The number one interior offensive lineman in the 26th class will choose between Clemson, LSU, Ohio State, South Carolina, and Tennessee. What's the move? Where should he go? Again, the number one interior offensive lineman in the country, a five-star prospect, Clemson, LSU, Ohio State, South Carolina, and Tennessee. Now, a lot of people here think that it's LSU and South Carolina at the top, and it felt like Tennessee kind of lost momentum. But again, Wiltfong put out the update saying Tennessee is increasing their intensity. They are pushing all in on Darius Gray, and this is a quote from him. He says, "It's the five. I see a lot of people have LSU and South Carolina as the front runners, but I wouldn't take Tennessee out of the picture." He took a ton of official visits, and if you go back, if you remember at that time, the Vols really had a lot of ground to make up going into those official visits. But after he took the trip to Tennessee, he actually came out of that trip saying Tennessee was at the top of his board. Now, what does he like about the Vols? Says Tennessee is great. Coach Heupel, Coach Ellerby, their longevity together. I think it's their 10th season coming up, and it's very rare to find that. I think it's very important. In the class they're building, you can tell they're going to be a national championship team in the next few years, and you want to be part of something special. Again, I think this class of 26 guys with Faison Brandon, with some of the elite guys at linebacker, TJ White, Braden Rouse, they got some elite dudes in this class. Does Darius Gray want to be a part of that? So what's the latest updates? Steve Wiltfong said, the majority of my sources favor South Carolina with less than a month ago. I recently had LSU in the pole position. That's where my pick stands based on the source I like a lot. And the Vols are making a charge. We'll see where the dust settles in less than a month. Now, Chad Simmons also put out an update. Said Darius Gray shared this weekend that he will announce his commitment on August the 22nd. Now the question is, who will it be? LSU and South Carolina continue to battle blow for blow in this race. He has the deepest connections with the staff in Columbia, but the program in Baton Rouge grabbed the momentum with a visit in the spring. Tennessee is a dark horse that is hanging around. Clemson and Ohio State rounding out the top five. The Gamecocks, again, have some buzz. The Tigers are very much in this, and the Vols would love to pull a surprise. So can Tennessee land a five-star interior offensive lineman? We're going to be covering that commitment live right here on the channel because, yeah, it does seem like Tennessee maybe has some ground to make up here, but they have a legitimate shot at landing the big five-star interior offensive lineman. Now, there's a couple of more five-stars that I want to take a look at that Tennessee has a legitimate opportunity to land. We're going to get into it. We're going to talk about it, but you guys know the deal. I need that YouTube stuff. Smash the thumbs up below the video. It's quick. It's free. It's easy. It helps the channel. I would greatly appreciate it. If it's your first time here on the Talkin VAWLS Network, welcome. We're not experts here. We're not insiders. We're not media. We don't pretend to be that. We don't try to fake anything. What we are is exactly what you guys are, for the fans, by the fans. If you like it, subscribe, click that bell for notifications. You won't miss out when we go live or when we drop a video. Got another live stream coming up Wednesday. Fall camp kicks off Wednesday. So we're going to do a fall camp kickoff show on Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern time. We're also going to have Tennessee Vols commit Joel Combe in the house on Wednesday night. So going to be a fun show, a lot to talk about. We'll talk about what goes down at media days. We'll see if Boo Carter reports to camp today. We're going to find out, and we're going to talk about it all Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern time. So come join us for that. But I mentioned two more five stars, and you may be scratching your head because, yeah, we're trying to flip Tristan Keys, but there's another newly named five-star that's set to come off the board. That is Celelesi Moa. You can see there, five-star athlete according to the 247 Sports composite. Now over at On3, still listed as a four-star according to the On3 industry rankings, but he's a top 50 guy. That bump over at 247 Sports puts him 46 nationally according to the On3 industry rankings. It's Tennessee, Michigan, Michigan State, Utah, and Washington. Now he comes from a family full of athletes, and his dad played at Utah, so there was a lot of speculation that was going to kind of lead him to Utah. Older brother played at Utah State and then later BYU. Has another brother that signed with BYU, ended up at Michigan State. Wiltfong put out recently that Michigan is swinging and trying to make a move on Tennessee and Utah. Ended up delaying his commitment, right? He was scheduled to come off the board. Austin Price over at VolQuest said that is a good thing for Tennessee. But why did he get this 5th star? Why did he get that bump in rankings? Well, this is the most recent scouting report from 247 Sports. Says he's among the most versatile athletes in the country and is currently being recruited equally hard on both sides of the ball at 7-versus-7 events and camps. Will typically work at wide receiver and has always been an extremely tough cover. Physical player who shows both initial quickness getting off the line and suddenness getting out of his breaks. Can get deep and stretch the field. Runs well after the catch and has very strong hands. Showed improved long speed this offseason. Clocked a 10.7 in the 100 meters in the spring. Routinely wins jump ball battles over opposing corners and is a physical blocker as well. Shows a ton of range at safety to go with high-level field awareness and instincts. Tough, solid tackler in space. Plays with a mean streak. Comes from a family of athletes with 2 older brothers. Brothers playing Power 4 football, but is the most gifted with the highest ceiling. Said he put on 15 pounds of good weight since last season while also improving his speed and overall athleticism. Could legitimately be a two-way player in college and has the all-around skill set to be a high NFL round draft pick. So, again, man, you got Legend Bay committed in this class. You got Tyreek committed in this class. I think a lot of people are sleeping on Tyreek King. I think he's a legitimate guy. And then you got Legend Bay in the slot. And I know a lot of us are saying, take those 2 guys. Let's go flip Tristan Keys. We got Faison Brandon slinging the rock. We're trying to close on Savon Haidider, the number 1 running back in the country. We're going to talk about him in just a second. But let's say you don't flip Tristan Keys, but you find a way to land Celelesi Moa, a guy that you can sell. Hey, man, you want to play both sides of the ball. Is that something he's interested in? And when you see this coaching staff offer that to Boo Carter, we heard Braden Rouse talk about it. Braden Rouse came on the channel. He said, yeah, I'm focused on linebacker. That's my position. But, man, that kid can play some tight end too. And he said, hey, that's not off the table at Tennessee. So is that something Celelesi Moa takes into account here? Steve Wiltfong's latest update said Tennessee remains the biggest challenger to Utah for the nation's number 2 athlete. Could go either way. A source said he commits on July the 31st. Now, that's coming up on Thursday. We're going to be covering that live right here on the channel. He's not announced the time yet, but once that time comes out, I'll let you guys know. But business as usual. We'll cover it. We'll break it down. We'll take you all the way up to the decision right here on the Talkin VAWLS Network. VolQuest's most recent update said the decision is coming to playing either closer at home or taking a chance and playing in the SEC. What does he want to do? Said he's got some appeal there to playing in the South, and he likes what he's seen from the Vols offense and how he would fit into that offense. He said he expects the decision to be played close to the vest. So, again, Darius Gray getting ready to come off the board, playing it close to the vest. Now we got Celelesi Moa coming off the board on Thursday, playing that decision close to the vest, which makes for fun live streams, man. We hang out, we speculate, we take you guys all the way up to the decision. If you've never been a part of those live commitment shows, plan to come hang out with us for those. So it should be a good time. And another one that's playing those cards close to the vest, that's Savon Haidider, the number 1 ranked running back in the country, set to commit. You can see the graphic on the screen on August the 19th, Tennessee, Michigan, Georgia, or Ohio State. And again, going to be similar to Braden Rouse, right? And we're talking about it with Darius Gray. We're talking about it with Celelesi Moa. But with Braden Rouse, it's Tennessee and Texas. And this one, it's Tennessee and Michigan. And people may pretend to know. They may act like they know. They've got some inside source. The reality is we're not going to find this out. It's not going to leak. It's not going to be spoiled. I don't expect any true crystal balls or expert predictions to come out. Maybe a true guess, maybe a true prediction, but not a spoiler alert. I know a lot of people are talking Michigan here, but Tennessee has been consistent. They've been that team that just keeps hanging around, and they have put themselves in a good spot to possibly land Savon Haidider. I think it was big that they got him back on campus for 865 Live heading into his official visit. Steve Wiltfong's latest update says the intel has not changed. It's Michigan and it's Tennessee. He says Michigan has always been one of the top contenders. Tennessee has surged this year around Knoxville. They felt very confident at times with Haidider. Says from the relationship with Coach Darrell Sims to the recent draft picks of Jalen Wright and Dylan Sampson, SEC Offensive Player of the Year, to going over Josh Heupel's past offensive success throughout his career and the magnitude of the running back in his scheme, the Vols have become a very enticing option. He says with Michigan, Haidider has always been the top overall target regardless of position. The NFL-style scheme and the way running back is featured, the long-standing relationships with Tony Alford, and the vibe around the program have always been things that have excited him about the program. Man, you talk about Josh Heupel's offense. You talk about success in the running game. Led the conference the last 2 years in rushing yards per game. Man, it's just tailor-made. It's just tailor-made for a running back to go out and have success, right? Spread them out wide, run between the tackles, create space, create opportunities, create numbers mismatches, and then let the number 1 running back in the country go make plays. And a lot of people think he's maybe the best running back prospect to come out in the last several years, not just this class, but the last several years. Chad Simmons' most recent update Said NIL is a real factor here, and we are told Michigan is all in. The same can be said about Tennessee. The Vols have to be taken seriously in this race, and there is optimism in Knoxville that they can win this battle. So that is 3 5-stars that are on the table for the Vols that are set to come off the board. Again, where are we at with Joel Wyatt? Can we flip Tristan Keys? What are your thoughts on this class? What do you think makes it a success versus a failure? I think a lot of people are going and looking at the On3 industry rankings saying, well, Tennessee's outside the top 10. This class is awful. I think this class is very top heavy. You've got 2 linebackers ranked inside the top 100. You got the number 1 quarterback in the country. You got some playmakers, skill players. I'm excited about this class of 26, and I think if you can close and maybe get 3 out of the 5 of the guys that I mentioned there, Darius Gray, Celelesi Moa, Savon Haidider, Tristan Keys, and also Joel Wyatt. You get 3 of those 5. I think you're playing with house money at that point. What are your thoughts? Jump in the comment section. Let's talk about it. As always, smash that thumbs up on the way out the door. You can go check out the official merchandise of the Talkin VAWLS Network. You can go to bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. You can also help support this channel by hitting the join button. It's right down there below. It's just $1 a month. You get access to custom Talkin VAWLS emojis, fan call-in shows, all kinds of fun perks and benefits. Just hit that join button. We would greatly appreciate it. Links are in the description to do all that stuff. That is going to do it for this one. This is the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Go Big Orange.